Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about a famous sentence by the writer Anna Nin when she said that we don't see things the way they are, we see things the way we are. And this is to me extremely interesting. It sums up a lot because as humans we have this tendency to look at things indeed from our own point of view, our own identity. So the way we are. And the way we are, lots of us, is still marked by being animals, by instinct, by self-preservation, by survival. We still tend many times to select from our environment everything that is immediately interesting to us because of our fears, because of our attractions, because of our desires, our avoidances, sometimes our need for immediate stuff like food, shelter, sex, sleep, security, comfort, and the like. The trouble is that animals in general, of course, they do this all the time spontaneously, and they have their own perception possibilities. There are lots of animals that observe um, areas of light, like spectrums of light that we cannot perceive. So they indeed see the world differently because their perception is different. But those animals, they are indeed looking at things according to what they are and how they are. Like if they are predators, they search for prey. If they are prey, to search to avoiding predators, and they search eventually for pastures or stuff like that. All animals will generally search for sex partners in certain moments. They will search for shelter and so on. And they will pay attention mostly to what is immediately important for their well-being and their survival. As humans, sometimes we have the tendency to do exactly this same thing. We look at things according to our immediate concerns, interests. Like, for instance, when we are paranoid, we have a tendency to think and to feel that the world is full of threats, that others are going after us, others want to rob us, to damage us, eventually to kill us. We see the world as a place full of threats, of nasty things, a dark world. When we are hypochondriac, we pay a lot of attention to disease, to what might be a threat to our bodily survival as a disease. So germs, viruses, possible wounds, damage to the body. And typically we are very afraid of that, but we are filling up our minds with imagery about disease, not so much health. Doesn't help. Eventually also, if we are paranoid, we are filling up our minds with lots of images of hatred, aggression, fear, torture, and the like. Doesn't help us being peaceful, feeling happy, as many of us would like to. Indeed, we have in our world lots of people in places of power, economical power, like in big corporations, or political power, like in big countries, and still they seem to be mostly focused in their own egotistic, self-centered little perspective, their immediate interests, their narcissisms. And sometimes they are also centered in their own tribes, trying to help their own tribes to be ruling other tribes or to destroy other tribes, to overcome. And they have a tendency to separate the world in the ones who are with them or against them. They have a tendency to separate everything everywhere and to select what is attuned to their immediate perception, interest, fear, and so on, and what is not. It's like in another way we do when we want to buy a new car, and suddenly the world gets filled with the models that we are choosing from and the colors we are choosing from for those models, because we pay selective attention to that which interests us. But this is also a limitation, because we select a minor amount, a minor portion of what is out there in the world. And also, when we are afraid of other people's perspective, and we are just too attached to our own perspective, what happens is that we are not really able to pay attention to other ways of looking at the world, other ways of living and of feeling and so on. We think they might be a threat. Sometimes it might be, but usually it's not. Now, the thing with this is that there are alternatives. It's extremely dangerous nowadays to have very self-limited, animalistic even, rulers who look at the world in a very narrow way, according to tribal interests and to their own selfish personal interests. We need better than this. We need more than this. Actually, when we start finding more of our souls, when we are finding more about being alive and being mostly living conscious beings, then we usually tend to search in a natural way for expansion of consciousness, to know more, to understand more, to feel more, to open more towards the world and even the universe. That makes it easier to include other people, and that makes it easier also to include ourselves, because then we no longer fight within ourselves with portions of us that we don't like, trying to improve others that we like. We accept everything about us, so it's easier to go, to walk inside ourselves to any place, to be deeply aware of who we are as individuals, to welcome everything. And because of that, it's easier then to resonate with other people, to also understand them, to know they have sort of pleasant and unpleasant areas like we have, and to know that they mostly are beings of consciousness. With this, it's easier to establish bridges, and it's easier to connect, to understand, to open to other people, to include them. And of course, then we are no longer so much caught in our little perspective, because now we are interested in the perspective of everyone else, because we know we just see tiny morsels of reality, and other people, when they have different perspectives, different ideas, different points of view, different feelings, they may enrich us with that. And it's better when we are integrative and we find easily bridges to the world and to other people, when we welcome them, when we like to share and we like to participate and welcome everyone else to participate in the world. It becomes closer to peace, inner peace, outer peace. It becomes easier to find points of harmony everywhere. And then, of course, as we are closer to our own souls, there is this natural tendency to love, to be compassionate, to integrate, to enlarge, to include. It becomes easier to feel at peace, and we no longer divide, we unite. It's like the natural instinct of our soul, uniting, finding our place in the big enlarged cosmos. This is happier also and a lot more peaceful. And we can do it. We can progressively change. We can be in awe of the world. We can also welcome beauty. We can allow larger and larger perspectives to be our inner sun, our inner sense of direction in the world. We can allow bigger values to help us find our path. This is happier, more peaceful. And that's the general idea for today. So we see the world the way we are, and as we change the way we are, we see more of the world and we see a happier world. That's the idea. As usual, if you like, share, comment, subscribe the channel. See you.